Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have entered concrete negotiations with Leroy Sane to sign him this summer as a free agent. This is according to Bild, who are saying that Arsenal are really closing in on a deal. As Tottenham were believed to be leading, now Arsenal are trying to hijack the deal, and the deal is getting closer and closer. Sane could be an Arsenal player within no time. We shall be talking about Leroy Sane. Also, at the moment, Fabrizio Romano has once again confirmed that Arsenal are one of the big clubs admiring Bryan Mbeumo, and Thomas Frank has said anyone to sign Bryan Mbeumo this summer, it's going to have to take a lot of money. They're going to demand a lot of money for the services of Bryan Mbeumo. But yes, Arsenal, Manchester United are battling it out for the services of Bryan Mbeumo. We shall also be talking about Jean Garcia. He has decided to go to Barcelona. Arsenal have decided not to spend 26 million euros on the services of the young Spanish goalkeeper. So that is happening as well. Jean Garcia to Barcelona. A deal to Arsenal is now completely off. We shall also talk about Sky's report on Arsenal striker situation. Sky Cave has confirmed that Arsenal fans be very confident. Trust in Mikel Arteta, trust in Andre Bata. A deal for a new striker is going to be done, and the number 9 will be wearing Arsenal colours come next season. Why don't you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's break down all this information that we've got this evening. Let's start off with that big story for Leroy Sane coming in from Christian Folk. The Bild are reporting that it appears that Leroy Sane's chances of signing a new contract at Bayern Munich are slim now, and Arsenal have taken concrete steps in signing the player. Sane wants to stay close to his family, and therefore a move to London appeals to him as we speak right about now. That is the report coming in from CF Bryan and the Bild on Leroy Sane. Arsenal, one of the clubs interested in Sane. Concrete steps have been taken. I think that is the key word in this report. Concrete steps have been taken by Arsenal to sign Leroy Sane this summer. Now, I don't know what about you, but I think Leroy Sane is a good signing. And this is one of those signings that Mikel Arteta is going to make. He's pushing for Sane. This is a Mikel Arteta signing. Remember last summer, Arsenal wanted to sign either Sane or Serge Gnabry, but we got neither. And that was because in the end, Bayern didn't sign Desire Doué. They really wanted to sign Desire Doué. And if they had signed Desire Doué, they would have let go of either Sane or Serge Gnabry. But none of them, the deal did happen, and none of the deals did go through as well. So this summer, he's a free agent. He's been in talks with Bayern, and it kind of feels like, according to all the reports from German, a deal has failed to be agreed between Sane and his current employers, Bayern Munich. And Arsenal have always wanted to pounce on the opportunity right from January and February. It was reported by Fabrizio and Florian Plattenberg that Arsenal, one of the clubs very much interested and very eager to sign Leroy Sane if he doesn't agree a new deal. So according to CF Bryan, concrete steps have been taken to sign Leroy Sane. And when you say concrete steps have been taken to sign Leroy Sane, for a free agent, that doesn't really mean a lot. Literally, that means that you've reached the player, heard what he has to say, and you've given him a deal that might be better than Bayern. And I've already said that I don't think Leroy Sane is going to take a pay cut at Bayern Munich. Last season alone, he had 13 goals and 5 assists. That is more than Gabriel Martinelli, and Gabriel Martinelli almost started each and every game, and Sane almost sat on the bench for each and every game. I think he started 50% or less than 50% of the games that he actually appeared in last season. So I think there is a quality player there. His agent will know that, the player will know that, and Mikel Arteta, as a person who has worked with Leroy Sane, knows that this is a quality player. This is a high caliber machine. If we get it firing, he can actually give us some kind of a very good deal. So for me, this is another Mikel Arteta deal, another Mikel Arteta agenda deal, but I'm going to back this one this time. Remember when I told you about Ben White and I was like, 50 million for a centre back, he will be okay. I think that was like 4 years ago. And I was like, I don't have a problem with Arsenal smashing and splashing 50 million on a centre back. And then I was very skeptical about Arsenal signing Kai Havertz. I was very skeptical about Arsenal signing Mika Merino. For Arsenal to sign Leroy Sane, for me, I'm okay. As long as it's a market opportunity, and for me, it is a market opportunity. I think you're gonna give him some good wages. He might be commanding wages upwards of 200,000. But apart from that, you give him 200k wages. He's a free agent. You don't have to deal with all this back and forth with Bryan. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. It is a good deal. However, there is something that I don't like, and I've seen it making rounds, that Arsenal want to sign Leroy Sane potentially as the only left wing option. Now, I know we have a lot to do this summer, right? I know there is a lot of work to do, and maybe Arsenal are going to spend a lot of money on Zubimendi and a new centre forward, but I still stick to my word and I still stand by my statement. Arsenal should only sign Leroy Sane as an option, right? In terms of a replacement for players like Sterling. Do not sign Leroy Sane as your main left winger, right? I still prefer this for this summer to happen like this. One of our left wingers leaves. Let's say Martinelli leaves. Rodrigo comes in, and then we sign a Leroy Sane. It would be too plain for Arsenal to just sign Rodrigo, Benjamin Sesko, and Zubimendi. We need options. I think this season has taught us one or two things, and one of the lessons that I remember saying very clearly in my video a couple of days ago is Arsenal have got to have options. We need world-class quality, and we need high-quality reinforcements, but we also need options. Even if the way Chelsea have done it with Liam Delap, you can imagine Liam Delap is a centre forward. He's not the main focus for Chelsea, but they've signed him, and now they're going for Hugo Ekitike or Benjamin Sesko or Victor Gyökeres, and they have Nicholas Jackson. That is what Arsenal should be gearing towards, having options and having many players. The reason why, as to why I don't want Sane as my main left winger, I think it's there for all to see. The writing is very clear on the wall. Number one, we're talking about a guy that is getting older, and we're talking about a guy that isn't getting any younger. His speed will have to deteriorate a lot. His skills will have to deteriorate a lot. You'd never know, but injuries might also come in handy with him getting a little bit older. And the intensity of the Premier League, you cannot rely on him every single game. Now, of course, you can say you have Sane, you have Martinelli, and you have Trossard. That is okay. But when I put those guys together in a single pool, I don't get the quality I want. I want the bar to be raised so much at Arsenal this summer that even players like Rodrigo in the future feel like normal signings, right? I mean, Rodrigo should be a normal signing. If Arsenal had signed Kavicha Kvaratskhelia in January, we wouldn't be fussing. We wouldn't be making a fuss about, Rodrigo. So for me, he cannot sign. Sane cannot sign as a main winger. It would be a mistake. It's either he signs as one of our, one of the options, or you don't sign him at all. And it would be a very, very good deal to pass on. So go and do it. Free deal, very, very nice deal. But sign a left winger and sign a centre forward and sign another midfielder apart from Martin Zubimendi. Now, one of the players that Arsenal are looking at to sign this summer, apart from Leroy Sane, is Bryan Mbeumo. And Bryan Mbeumo's numbers have been absolutely, should I say absolutely, like absolutely mind-blowing. He's such a player. What a player. And what a season he's actually had. Fabrizio Romano has once again confirmed today that Arsenal are 100% one of the clubs interested in signing Bryan Mbeumo this summer. They want to get it done. Manchester United are very, very strong competition with Chelsea. 3 clubs in London. 2 clubs in London, 1 in Manchester. 3 clubs from the Premier League very much interested in signing Bryan Mbeumo. Now, this has taught me something. These are the comments from Thomas Frank, the manager at Brentford. He said, it is clear that if he's going to be sold, it must be for a nice amount. It's a lot. Macho, really, really a lot. How many wingers scored 20 goals for a mid-table club? Not many. And then with 7 assists plus his work ethic and his character, you don't get that a lot as well. And then he says, all these things mean that he has a lot, so he's a good player. That is what he said. That is according to Thomas Frank on Bryan Mbeumo. Okay. That is not confirmation that they will sell, but that is not by any means trying to tell me they are not selling. I think Brentford have just looked at that statement like, what did the manager just say, right? But I think Brentford value him at around 50 to 60 million pounds. And I don't think they have sold many players in the past for anything above that. I don't know. Did Ivan Toney go for about 40 to 45 million or 40 to 60 million? I think around there in that region. So they will need to sell this summer. They will need reinforcements this summer. We know that they're a very, very smart club in terms of signings. They don't have to sign 5 or 6 players at once. They literally just work with that, with what they have, and then they can get in 1 or 2 good signings and things work out. But for Bryan Mbeumo this summer, keep your eyes open, guys. Keep your eyes very open. For me, I believe if Arsenal don't go for a high-performing winger like Rodrigo, we are going to stick with Mikel Arteta's initial target, which is Nico Williams. But if the wages don't come down, if the wage demands remain as high as they were, then I won't be surprised if the data team wins on who signs as a left winger. And again, 20 goals, 7 assists. Yes, 5 of the goals were penalties, but don't take anything away from Bryan Mbeumo. 15 goals and 7 assists. No Arsenal player scored 10 goals or more in the Premier League last season. That tells you everything you need to know about Bryan Mbeumo. He's very versatile. He's available. He's a monster. His work ethic is top. He's got a good character. Go get him. Absolutely go get him. Now, I wanted to sign Bryan Mbeumo, and this is a little bit selfish of me, but also I want Arsenal to be the best they can. I wanted Bryan Mbeumo to be, the way Arsenal would sign Nico Williams for left wing, and then we have Saka on the right, and then we have maybe a Victor Gyökeres or Šeško in the middle. And then you sign an extra player in Bryan Mbeumo. But it could still work. Bryan Mbeumo on the left wing, Sane as the overall option that can cover for everyone else, and then Saka and Šeško to complete the attack. Let me know what you think about that. Fabrice has confirmed once again that Arsenal are there for Bryan Mbeumo. They are not going away. They like the player, and them and Manchester United and Chelsea will trade blows. Okay. Now, Sky Sports, according to Kabe Soliko, they have told Arsenal fans, trust Mikel Arteta, trust Andre Bata, and trust Arsenal, trust your club. A deal for a number 9 is being cooked right now, and as we speak, it is boiling. It's gonna happen 100%. You're gonna get a center forward. This is according to Sky Sports. To trust Mikel Arteta, I might not really trust him very much in terms of transfers, but I will trust Andre Bata, and I'll trust the Arsenal board. The reason as to why I don't want to trust Mikel Arteta is he went and got Kai Havertz when we wanted a centre forward. And then last summer, he went and got Raheem Sterling when we wanted a centre forward. And the summer before that, he went and got Gabriel Jesus, and that was catastrophic. So I can't trust Mikel Arteta on my centre forward issues, but let me absolutely trust Andre Bata. Now, Arsenal missed out on 3 players, not really key players, but players that have been really linked, and we all thought that there might be some kind of competition from Arsenal as other clubs are trying to sign them. Of course, there are so many targets that have gone to other clubs and Arsenal are linked with them. Liam Delap, I don't think Arsenal were ever big on that one. Florian Wirtz, Arsenal were interested, but the price, I don't think Arsenal were ever gonna try that one. But Joan Garcia is one that we've got to maybe discuss, because Joan Garcia is gonna go to Barcelona, 26 million euros. And the reason he's gonna go there is Arsenal actually agreed personal terms with Joan Garcia last summer, and then they just kept quiet. They refused to sign him because they kind of believe that 26 million euros is too much. Now, I agree, 26 million euros is too much for a backup goalkeeper, but this is a generational talent, number 1. And number 2, if you don't consider him as a generational talent, you've got to think about the fact that he's one of the players out there that are actually wanted by almost each and everyone. But Andre Bata said, let's not waste money on a new goalkeeper, especially a second choice goalkeeper. Let's go out there and sign, a cheaper goalkeeper and spend that money elsewhere. Dean Huijsen, it has been revealed that Arsenal gave him the best deal they could, but in the end, Dean Huijsen decided to go to Real Madrid. It was always his priority, and also the player was not convinced he would play a lot of minutes at Arsenal with Gabriel and Saliba around. That is understandable. And finally, Milos Karkic. Milos Karkic is going to go to Liverpool. The deal is very close. Ryan Enori as well. Arsenal want a left back this summer. And I was thinking in the region of Milos Karkic at Bournemouth and Ryan Enori at Wolves, but Manchester City are closing in on a deal for Ryan Enori, and Karkic is going to Liverpool. So Arsenal, that leaves us with Pavis Estopinian at Brighton. That leaves us with Tino Livramento at Newcastle. Newcastle look like they are financially okay this summer, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, there is Robinson at Fulham. Very, very good player, if you may. But I kind of feel like Milos Karkic is a missed opportunity for Mikel Arteta. If he signed Nuno Tavares before, I think Karkic would have been a very, very good option. But I think Arsenal wouldn't want to trade blows with Liverpool at the moment. Liverpool have a lot of cash and they're moving.